Back of the room.
Dick Cox with Cox Sports Broadcasting. This is for the players. Can you talk about how physical it was out there? There were a lot of big hits for a clean game most of the part, but probably a lot of people going to be sore tomorrow.
We like to say it's a physical game because we make it that way. We like to go out there and, force our will upon them. So that's what we try to go out there and do. Now, they did get a few hits in, which got under our skin a little bit, but, we move on to the next play. And like I said, we force our will upon them.
For left.
Nick Martin with the Duke Chronicle. My questions for Coach. For 45-7 game, this one was very physical from start to finish. A lot of big hits. Can you just talk about the physicality that both teams brought to the table throughout the game?
Well, you have two teams. We're 12-0, they're 10-2. You don't get to this game without being. Let me tell you something. No matter how much you throw the ball, how this game's spread, they put pads and the helmet on for a reason. I know one thing in Florida State, we're going to butt you in the mouth. We're going to be able to butt you right in the throat and be able to play football. You can throw it and be skilled, but you got to be physical and you got to be nasty. You got to play the game clean. But this is a man's game, and you have to be that way. We like to practice that way. We like to play that way, and Duke did too. My hats off. They had some great hits, clean hits. Unfortunately, they had the one at the end. I don't think the guy did it on purpose. It was just that's ball. The guy made a hit, and that's football and the way things go. But my hats off. I think they didn't get to this championship by being soft. They were a very physical team, and if you're going to be a championship team, you cannot be soft.
Jimbo, on the same lines, asked Telvin, how special is it, how rare is it to have a team that really doesn't have a week off, a game off, and just kind of pummels everyone?
I say this, I'm blessed in two reasons. I love to go to work and go to my staff room because I love the coaches I coach with. I love to go to practice and go in that team room and go on that field because of these guys right here. This group right here, whatever I ask them to do, whatever I say, and sometimes I say it not in a good way, they understand that. But they know we love them. And they know I care for them because we're trying to coach the player they can be, not the one they are. And this group understands that we've learned lessons. But this leadership group up here, that's why. They don't allow it. And there's other guys in this group too now. There's a whole other group of guys that does the same thing. But this group is a tremendously fun group to coach. It's a fun group. It's even more fun off the field. They're actually funny, believe it or not.
Front row.
Coach, you're going to be playing an SEC team for the national title. They won 7 straight national titles in that league. Some people say you built your program like an SEC program. Any truth to that? Do you believe that?
I built our program like I thought we needed to build it to win a championship. We don't model ourselves after nobody. We're at Florida State. We do things the way we do them. And the way I think you have to play to win a championship, the kind of team you have to win a championship, I think that's the way we tried to build this team.
For left.
Hi. Andrew Beaton from the Wall Street Journal. This is for Jameis. What was the Duke defense doing in that first quarter that was able to keep you in check? What are you seeing out of them?
We beat ourselves the first quarter.
Coach Fischer, I have a question for you. Chris Idell's right down here and heard of him radio. You got a month off coming up now, so what do you guys got to do to keep yourself going? Because everything's clicking perfectly right now. What do you got to do?
That's the unique thing about bowl games. We've had a philosophy that where I've been, we've had a lot of bowl success. We've had a lot of bowl success here the last 3 years. We have a routine and a plan, and I've got some guys that've been through this before that I'll talk to and try to get some notes and take some ideas from and how to go about this. And but that's the unique thing about college football. You play the season, it's a one-game schedule. We'll regroup next week, let these kids get back in school, let them heal up a little bit, and then we'll keep some conditioning, and we'll get to practice, and then we'll give them a schedule and handle it that way. But we've had a pretty successful run in our bowl games where I've been and what we've done here, so we've got a pretty good thing. Then I'll talk to a couple folks that have been in this game and how we handle it.
Front row.
My question's for Jameis. Danny Morales of Skyboat.com here. Today you set a few ACC records, including a single-season passing record. I know it's not about individual stats here, and you guys have a lot still to play for, but what did it mean to you to be able to get your name in the record books?
It means a lot, but as a teammate and just having guys right here beside me, our team is trying to make history. We're not just trying to look at individual stats and things like that. Like, we trying to do something so much bigger than this. And then, obviously, the defense put us in a predicament for us to break all those records because defense wins championships, and they definitely won this game for us today.
Middle of the room.
Jameis, can you talk about your emotions this whole week and culminate tonight, what that meant to you, be able to end the week in a way like this and win the championship?
Well, this whole week, it was very high emotion because we wanted to win this championship so bad, and we talked to the guys because we ain't won a championship as a team. Like, we ain't won a championship so long, like individual, like undefeated championship. That hasn't happened in a long time. So we were looking forward to having an undefeated season, and it really wasn't about the game. It was about how we went out there, prepared, and how we fought, and how bad did we want to win this.
Back to the room.
Coach Mike Leslie, Fox Carolinas. Looking at the opening portions of the game, you mentioned you guys were just a little bit off, a little bit overthrown.
But Duke was playing good defense. They were in position to make plays.
Given what's happened over the course of the last week and couple weeks, there will be at least some people that maybe deduce that may have had something to do with what Jameis has been through recently. What do you feel about the struggles that were had, and Jameis, how important was it for you to be able to bounce back from whatever it was that had you a little bit off and make some plays?
I mean, I don't think that because he's been under things for the last couple of weeks and he's played well, but that's ball. Sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off. But I think his mental focus has been really good. And like I said, Duke makes some good plays, but that's the mark of a good player. I like to measure players when they don't have their A game. When everything's everybody can play when you're on, but when you're just a hair off and things aren't going just right. To me, that's where you find the greatness of players who can recover, bounce back, make the adjustments, and then go make the plays and not let it bother him. And because it doesn't get it. The thing about him that I'm the most proud of, he wants to make plays not because he wants to make them for himself, he wants to make them for the guys around him, and that's the way he plays.
I can speak about myself that I came into the game very overhyped. I haven't been that hyped for a game since probably the Miami game, which I threw 2 interceptions in. So, I mean, when you come into a game like that with high intensity and just wanting to do it so bad, just wanting to just do the best you can so bad. And like you said, it's not an individual thing because we got a victory. So at the end of the day, if I had a bad performance, it doesn't matter. We still ACC champions, and nobody can take that back.
Patrick Noah, Miami Herald. Jimbo, you've spoken about your level of affection for this class. It was the first class you recruited as a head coach. This is your last game with them, your last few weeks of practice. Is there part of you that's going to focus on that, or is that something you can't afford to?
Can't afford to focus on it right now. Afterwards, this group would be with me forever. It's like a lot of my players. I love our players. I love my players. And to me, that's what the key is. It's not about making them win games, it's about making them grow. As they grow as people, then they grow as athletes. But this group is a very special group. I mean, Marcus Joyner when he committed to me. When Telvin drove me nuts on signing day and he had to pull over in the daggone, Burger King parking lot and had to talk him back into coming back to us. He was with us. He left us. I mean, I remember all those things. But I knew this was a special group of guys. It always will be to me. And, these guys were very special. And they, like I say, the things I wanted to put in this program, they took and put in this program. They were the ones who put it in there. I mean, all I can say is do it. They reinforced those values and the trust in which we had in each other, and were tremendous. This is a very, very special group, and when it's all over, I may be a little sad.
To our left.
Jimbo, could you, and I've got a follow-up too, could you talk about continuing the legacy of Bobby, or at least getting to this point?
Well, everyone asked me, how are you going to replace Coach Bowden? I said, I won't. There's only one Coach Bowden. There's only one man that walked that sideline. The winningest coach in college football history, the integrity he did it with, the class. He was my hero. I learned a lot of things from Coach Bowden. But to me, Coach Bowden put some things in place that allowed us to, we had slid a little bit, but he put things in place with the history and the tradition to be able to rebuild and refocus and be able to bring that back to Florida State. And I'm very proud of that, again, for our players, our fans, and everybody else, but also that Coach Bowden, the legacy he left, that we're trying to carry that on. Like I tell these guys, they got to leave a legacy to the players behind. Coach Bowden left a legacy to us as coaches, and that's our job.
And also, 15 years ago, you were a 33-year-old quarterbacks coach at Auburn, about to lose your job. What was your emotions about playing Auburn, and did you know anything about the BCS in 1998?
No, we knew a little bit. I mean, 93, that first year there, we were undefeated. See, I always tell Florida State this. We should have had half that national championship in 93. We were the only undefeated team in the country. In 1993, we were undefeated. But that was great years at Auburn. I enjoyed my years at Auburn, really did. As I was 27 years old when I went there as a quarterback coach and got to coach some great players and great people. And that's part of this business. You move on and where you go. But we're looking forward to whoever we play. It looks like we probably will be playing them. But it'll be a great opportunity. I know a lot of those folks. And that was one as I say, that's where I cut my teeth in Division I football.
Front row.
This question's for Jameis. Can you just talk about how good you feel right now compared to the way you felt Wednesday during practice or whatever, when you had all that pressure on you and whatnot, going through the week or whatnot, and now that it's all over and you got an ACC crown on top of it, compare the feeling you have right now to the way you were feeling 72 hours ago?
Oh, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing just because I think my teammates more relieved than what I was. I mean, because it meant a lot to not only me, but a lot to them. So, I mean, of course, it was a process, but, I mean, we got to keep moving forward. It's not for as a team wise, we got our main goal, and our main goal is getting that national championship.
Back of the room, back right.
This is for the players. Florida State didn't get a lot of hype at the beginning of the year. Was there a turning point in the season when you felt like you were the best team in the country, or did you feel like you were going to be at this position at the end of the year?
Yeah, the turning point was the spring football when we started, and we knew we was gonna have a special year ever since then. And then I